Happy Life Day, everybody! In celebration of this festive time of year, I rewatched the Star Wars Holiday Special.
The Star Wars Holiday Special.
The Star Wars Holiday Special aired on TV in 1978 one time. It was never rebroadcast or re-released on home video, but unfortunately, in the era of the internet, it's very easy to find. I bought it on eBay about 10 years ago, and I've seen it way more times than I care to admit. The original cast is in it. George Lucas had nothing to do with it. He even once reportedly said, if I had time and a sledgehammer, I would track down every copy of that show and smash it. So the movie starts with a cold open, the Millennium Falcon flying through space, but the Imperials are after them because they have got to get Chewbacca home to his life planet of Kashyyyk for Life Day. It's apparently a very important holiday that he would never miss. Chewbacca would never miss a Life Day. And then they intro Chewbacca's family, his wife, Mala, his father, Itchy, and his son, Lumpy. And we just get what feels like 6 years of mindless Wookiee dialogue with zero subtitles. And a lot of times you're watching like a film and you don't know what they're saying, but you can kind of discern it with body language and cues like that. But not in the holiday special. Itchy goes over to this like chessboard and just watches a bizarre Cirque du Soleil performance for 2.5 minutes football time. And that's basically what this whole movie is like. It's just they come up with a bunch of cool stuff and then they just go from like section to section showing off these weird 70s gadgets that kind of feel like they would have been in Star Wars lore. It's very confusing. At this point, we are a full 12 minutes into the movie, and we finally get our first line of dialogue, and it's from Luke. And he's like, oh, look, it's Chewbacca's family. In the year after Episode 4, does Luke, like, really get to know Chewbacca's family? Because, what? He knows, like, everything about them. He's like, Chewbacca would never miss a Life Day. But that's not even the most weird thing about this scene. It's the way that Luke looks in this scene. Luke looks like his makeup was done by a mortician. It's very scary. If I had never seen a Star Wars movie and this was the first thing I was seeing, I would definitely think that Luke is the villain.
Well, all I can tell you is that he and Han left here on schedule. If he's not there now, they're way overdue.
That's terrifying. All right, so at this point, we're about 6 hours into the movie, and Mala is gonna make some bantha stew or something, bantha surprise, and is using this cooking video to learn how to make it. Side note, how do Wookiees cook without getting fur in everything? Because we know they shed. So they just eat their own fur? Just something to think about. Anyway, stir, whip, stir, whip, 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 stir. And then the worst character shows up. His name is Sandan, and he's like this really annoying traitor, and not like traitor as in like traitor, as in like Trader. He like trades things, and he's got a ton of gadgets. He shows Itchy this like video that's gonna be an experience, and you get the vibe that it's about to get really weird, and then it does.
I am your experience. I am so experience me. So experience. I am your pleasure. This is enjoy me together. This is our moment together in time, that we might turn this moment into an eternity.
Yeah. What is that? The first time I watched this movie was with my dad. My dad got up and left. And it goes on for like a full 6 minutes. 6 minutes of this. Anyway, then we get Princess Leia like hanging out with C-3PO for some reason, and she gets a call from Chewie's wife, Mala, and she's like, so good to see you. And I'm like 1,000% sure that they don't know each other. And then she's like, I don't actually want to talk to you. Can you put Chewie or Han on?
I don't want to tire the channels. So could you do me a favor and send either Chewbacca or Han Solo to the screen, please?
And she's like, Han's not here. And Leia's like, huh, well, that's weird. And then Han and Chewie arrive on Kashyyyk, and the Wookiees are like so stoked. But then it's not Han and Chewie. It's Imperial stormtroopers. And they're at the door. And they're coming to search for... What are they doing? They're looking for rebels or something? I forget what they're even doing. They're very rude, and they like break Lumpy's laptop. And then Sandan shows up and invites them to stay. And then he screams at Mala for some reason.
Mala, you come in the kitchen to help me.
And then breaks out more gadgets, of course. And then one of them is a performance by Jefferson Starship. Jefferson Starship. It launches into a full music video from Jefferson Starship. I don't know why. It goes on for 5 minutes. And then the Imperials continue to search the house for whatever they're searching for, and Lumpy opens up another trinket, which is a cartoon about his dad Chewbacca and Han Solo. But the craziest part about this cartoon that aired in 1978, it was the introduction of Boba Fett on screen. This weird holiday special is the first time that we meet Boba Fett. Boba Fett! Boba Fett! The best bounty hunter in the galaxy! And he's like their ally and betrays them. This is arguably the only like good part of the movie. Well, it's the best part. It's not necessarily good, but it is a crazy thing that they just straight up intro Boba Fett. So yeah, I know it feels like we're jumping from thing to thing, but that's literally what this whole movie is. TV special, whatever. They jump to this weird transmission where they're like, hey everybody, we're gonna show you life on Tatooine so that you can feel better about your life by comparison, because Tatooine is horrible. Like, imagine if they did that. So then they cut to the Mos Eisley Cantina, which has B. Arthur in 1978 in a Star Wars special, where she has a musical number. Let that sink in. B. Arthur has a musical number in Star Wars. A musical number with B. Arthur in a Star Wars movie. We're back to Kashyyyk for some reason, and then Chewbacca shows up, and the stormtroopers are kind of going after Lumpy, and he's like, stay away from me and my son. And then Han Solo shows up and somehow gets the stormtrooper to like Willem scream off the balcony. They use the Willem scream. It's great. So I guess all is well now, because the Wookiees have this long Rory reunion that goes on for what feels like 20 minutes. I don't know, I fell asleep at this point. And then they start celebrating Life Day, which they put on red robes and they hold orbs, and then they just kind of walk in single file. I don't really know what's happening here. It's kind of creepy. But all the Wookiees are in some kind of foggy church, and then C-3PO and R2-D2 are there for some reason, and then Leia and Han and Luke show up, and then C-3PO's like, I wish I were a real boy.
R2 and I wish that we were more than just mechanical beings, and were really alive, so that we could share your feelings with you.
And then Leia breaks into a beautiful song. Like, honestly, Carrie Fisher singing voice, pretty nice, pretty nice.
A day of joy we all can share.
And then we're back in their home on Kashyyyk, and they're all holding hands and praying, and the Wookiees are roaring, and they're praying, and then it's over. So that was about 16 hours long, I think, it feels like. I don't know. The whole thing feels what I assume is what an acid trip feels like. I wouldn't know. It's not so bad it's good. It's not so Star Wars that you can respect it. It's just a thing that exists, that happened. Have you guys seen the holiday special? If so, let me know your favorite part. And by favorite, I mean most tolerable part. And like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. And I will see you guys in the new year. Happy Life Day.